welcome back. So I keep seeing videos on TikTok about book bros and there seems to be a lot of discussion about what a book bro is, what it means, all that kind of stuff. I just happened to learn this term after a video from a creator called Annie Wilkes. Great name, by the way. Best villain name of all time. Now, I can't seem to find the original TikTok of hers. I think she might have taken it down, but just looking at comments from people and video replies from people, it seems like they're saying straight white men just read books by other straight white men and don't branch out or don't read diversely. That's a gist I'm getting, but let's watch some TikToks and see if we can figure it out. Firstly, I want to watch a TikTok by the Book Baba, who does actually show the beginning of Annie Wilkes' video, the one that I can't find, basically.
No offense to book talk bros everywhere, but I hate your content. And I stopped to think before I made that statement, am I painting with too broad a brush? And it turns out I'm not.
Annie, what are we doing here? This is going to be a long rant, guys. People like you are why book talk is so insufferable. Let me explain. See, in my opinion, had you made that video and just said, hey, to my followers, if you're tired of seeing the same content from the guys, here's some creators who have a different perspective and have something different to say. I think you're going to enjoy it. Great. Awesome. I follow some of those guys. I know some of them. Good lads. We all should follow them. But that's not what you did. You went another direction. You decided to say, hey, I really hate the book bro content. And then proceeded to lecture us about emotional intelligence, about empathy, about critical thinking, about white authors, problematic behavior, blah, blah, blah. And here's the thing, Annie. You can check all the boxes. You can be the most well-read person on the planet Earth, and you can still be a terrible human being. Or you can sit in a cabin, read Brandon Sanderson 365 days a year, live in a fantasy world, and be a kind, compassionate, good person who cares about the people around you. You used the book bros, though, Annie. I see what you did. You used the book bros to wink to the rest of us that you are indeed superior. You are well-read. You do all the things. You are better than us. But you're not. You are pretentious. You are annoying. And again, like I said, people such as yourself are the problem with book talk. Annie. See, I've gotten to know some of the book bros who like the content that you're over here slamming on. And we've had nice, intelligent, deep conversations about life, about love, about loss, about grief, about injustice, about social issues, all of the things. And just because bro likes Brandon Sanderson and likes Pierce Brown doesn't take those other things away from bro. People are complicated. It's not just men. We can make silly content about Darrow and the Iron Rain while also caring about other people. But yeah, to everybody else out there, read what you want. Don't let somebody get on a soapbox and lecture you and talk down to you. Because that's what it is. When you're on a soapbox, you're looking down on people instead of looking across and talking to them across. And now somebody might say, oh my God, look at this guy on the internet mansplaining what a soapbox is. If that's where you want to take it, feel free. But we're all playing curated characters on the internet. And here's the secret. None of us, including myself, are that important.
Now remember, I can't find the original TikTok to know exactly what was said. But from Book Baba's reply, it seems that the book bros have been painted in a certain light. Apparently they lack empathy.
It often takes a woman who behaves badly to get a message out that will actually be heard. I made a video last week that challenged the emotional intelligence and capacity of empathy for book bros, who I define as cisgendered straight white men. There's been a lot of discourse on Book Talk after that. I've read a ton of messages and tried to respond when I could. The message that I am continually hearing now is a demand for an apology. So hear me when I say that if you are a member of a marginalized community, I offer you my most sincere apology if you were offended by what I said. It is your voice, it is our voice for whom I advocate. If you're a cisgendered straight white male who took offense to what I said, please know that not only are you ignoring your privilege, but you're leveraging it at the same time. I have graciously welcomed every cis straight white man who has proven that they are a safe person, that they are an empathetic person. If you are a straight, cisgendered white male who refuses to expand your worldview and purposefully continues to narrow it, it is the rest of us for whom I am truly sorry.
So looking at the comments, everyone is kind of split, but Annie does say that she used the term book bros because that's what they call themselves. So it's not like she came up or like coined the term or the nickname. Here's just some comments that I saw. So someone said like, why do you define book bros as just white men? Just curious because I never saw it that way. And Annie replies with, because the book bros that I come across my feed are all white and they all call themselves book bros. I think I maybe had heard the term, but I hadn't seen any one come up saying like, I'm a book bro kind of thing. And someone else said, I thought the definition of a book bro was a cisgendered straight white man who only read cisgendered straight white men authors. Like, I'm a cis straight white man, but I read everything. I'm still a book bro. See, that's what I thought. That's what I thought it meant. The reason I use the term book bro is because that's what they call themselves when they pop up on my feed. By everything, do you mean authors of all different backgrounds? If yes, then it sounds like you are a diverse reader and not one of the men I was talking about. And then this person says, I started reading again this year after a 14-year hiatus. I'm literally reading everything from Arthur Kwong, M.L. Wang, V.E. Schwab, S.A. Cosby, T. Fisher. Have been amongst my favorites so far. Yeah, I'm taking the time to relearn what I like to read. Turns out I just like to read. Someone said, bruh, if a book is good, I read it. If you have to sell me on a book by using the non-book components like skin color, gender, or author, you diminish your pitch. Some responded with, books by POC and women are just as good, but they aren't as popular because publishers and readers like you underestimate them. And then the original poster replied, dude, no one is looking at a book and researching the author and then saying, oh no, it's a woman or minority. I bet it's boring. That doesn't happen. Stop being silly. Someone else said, I don't know how I missed the original post or the subsequent one, but it's infuriating some of your responses that you've had to deal with. The concept of reading diversity shouldn't be as controversial as it evidently is. It also shouldn't garner the backlash it has. The fact you struck a nerve is just evident that your points are valid. I appreciate you doing what you do on here. Another person said, I'm so here for this. Also, the cis straight white men showing up in your comments, attempting to intimidate and silence you are proving your point. And while it's sad, it's so validating. These people calling reverse racism sexism are giving me the big ick. Because I did see this post as well from Annie Wilkes after. I mean, nothing like men getting all emotional and dumping their purses on the floor over their books. I mean, that was too much, honestly. Anyway, there's discussions on both sides, and I enjoyed this video by Mick, who gives a nice perspective.
If you are a book talk bro and you read Red Rising, Dungeon Crawler Carl, Brandon Sanderson, or any other high fantasy, I want to be your friend. And the reason for that is because you help me diversify my reading. It goes both ways. I feel like when we lump sum an entire group of people, we are missing out on the greatness of diversity. We are missing out on differences. We're missing out on someone else's point of view. And we give up the opportunity to have a discussion and help each other out. Last week I had a conversation with my brother. him and his wife kind of, stalk my book duck. And he was excited that I had finally started reading Dungeon Crawler Carl and Red Rising. And here's the thing about him. He is one of the most emotionally intelligent men I have ever met. Granted, growing up, we didn't get along that great, but as adults, we have grown our relationship into something great. And we talk about books, we talk about life, we talk about everything. But he is a book bro. He is someone who had tried so hard to understand me and my life and what I've been through, and it's made him a better person. And none of the reading that he has done make that any different. When we take an entire group of people and we pound it into their head that they're shitty because of what they read, why would they want to have a conversation with you and hash out your differences? I think in the grand scheme of things, if we do not give space to have difficult conversations, to allow these people to expand their horizons, then we aren't going to get anywhere. I am super liberal, I am super gay, I lean progressive in a lot of things. But one thing that I will always believe in is unity. And by hounding people to the ground because of what they read is not unifying.
Personally, I wouldn't say book bros lack empathy or intelligence or compassion. I tell you who does lack those kind of things. People who don't read. No, I'm joking. It's fine if you don't read. It's fine. No, I'm joking. Listen, if you have to date a man, date one that reads. It's the best. Trust me. Yeah, anyway, I think the fact that people are reading is a good thing. Surround yourself with readers. Saying that, my friends, actually, not all of my friends read. Some of them read. And by reading, I mean audiobooks count too. Whether they're listening to, I don't know, a story on YouTube, that counts too. That's still good. Anyway, I also liked Jono's point of view on this as well.
You don't like Book Talk Bro content? Don't follow it. Block it. You want more diverse recs? Okay, cool, great. What is stopping you from interacting with accounts that provide that? This isn't about Book Talk Bros or diverse reading. It is about people looking for something to get mad at so they can feel morally superior and collect pats on the back from others with the same affliction. Those videos aren't made despite offending people. They are made for it. That's not activism. That's loser behavior. Why is it suddenly their responsibility, this handful of straight white dudes on TikTok, to become paradigms of reading diversely? Are you putting that same pressure on the people who only recommend the same romantasy book 100 times? Or on the women and men who only read and post about the exact same MM series over and over and over? Because the lack of variety that you're complaining about exists in every corner of the book community. So why are we laser focused on one group? Why are we pretending they are the root of the issue? If you truly care about broader reading habits, you don't need to tear others down to prove it. Build the kind of page that you want to see. Share diverse recs, champion underread authors, be what you are demanding without shitting on everybody else in the process.
I have to say that literally only in the last few years have I made the conscious effort to read diversely. I have to research and find those authors and books myself because my fucking algorithm was literally just pushing me the mainstream stuff, and 90% of which was books by white authors, men and women, actually. I mean, it's different now. I've completely created like Jono said, I've created a space or a feed on my social medias where I'm getting so much diversity, and that's because that's what I want to read. And then I can read it, I can review it and bring it to you. If you want to read it, you can, and you might pick something up just that's a diverse read just because someone recommended it. I honestly understand both sides to an extent. It would be nice if everyone did read diversity, but you don't have to. But I did it because I wanted to. I wanted to support other communities, and I wanted to learn about the world and history. I recently read a horror novella by P. Djeli Clark called Ring Shout. I learned about a fucking horrendous silent movie that came out in 1915 called The Birth of a Nation. What the fuck was that? I learned about a ring shout. I also learned more about root magic, but I learned about root magic in Legendborn. It's been so interesting for me, and that's just That's just me. I said root magic. I think I meant root work. But at the same time, even if you don't read diversely, I think the fact that you're reading at all, no matter the author, is a good thing. And audiobooks. Don't forget audiobooks. If you're listening to an audiobook, that counts too. Quite honestly, we need more men to be reading. And even though I read diversely, I probably consider myself to be a book bro. I read Stephen King, Brandon Sanderson. I've just finished Dungeon Crawler Carl, and they're good authors and good books. Plus, they do actually write about other cultures and other people. Actually, that's a whole other conversation. I know that there's a discussion about should white authors write like about different marginalized communities, different ethnicities, like in their books.
What the hell is a book talk bro? Is that just like any man who reads books? Or is it like a man who reads certain books? Or is it just straight men? I'm very confused.
Hello, random person on the internet. It is I, the Book Bob, but let me help you with this. A book bro is anybody who doesn't mind being called a book bro who also reads. It can be any kind of book. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. Now, it can be any race, any sexual orientation, and also many women say, hey, I'm a book bro too, because they like the books that we read, they like what we're about, and they like us more in general. But that's neither here nor there. The thing about the term itself, it's mostly tongue-in-cheek because we are not bros in the way that you would think of like a frat bro. We're nerds. We're huge nerds. We were nerds when we were younger, and then we grew up and we stayed nerds, and we like magic and dragons and wizards and swords and alien civilizations and space and all that beautiful nerdy stuff. So there's a certain segment of book talk that's trying to make book bro into some derogatory term, like some kind of insult, and it's not. It's never been that way amongst us dudes. So let's get back to our regular scheduled programming.
So from the explanation in that video, are you a book bro? I guess I am. I mean, I think I probably am. But what do you see as a book bro? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Bye.